Well, I wasn't going to make a video, but I will. Anyway, A-arms, two-wheel drive. I don't know if the four-wheel drive guys will have that much problems because I think they have a different lower control arm. The upper arm's not a big deal. Take it loose, smack it, it comes right apart. But if you guys are getting ready to do your lower A-arms, you better have some heat. I was basically doing it as a maintenance item because I got 200,000 miles on it, but the boot was exposed to that joint and actually wasn't getting that much movement, but it was getting close. But got one side done. Just got to put her back together. And this is pretty cool for if you want to make you a block like that, set both wheels on there, then you can get to your ride height when you set it back on one of these. And anyway, you measure your ride height from here to the center of the tire, and you set it back down, double check your measurements, then you can torque everything down. So yeah, you'll need a 24 millimeter, 18, 22, and I think a 21 millimeter. I'm not mistaken, but I thought I can get away without pulling that off, but because both the lowers, I had to heat it up with a torch. I didn't want to do it on the truck, so I didn't, and it turned out fine. So we're getting ready to go to Rockingham. Got my new lowers. Got to get the old man's car done. We got most of it done. Still got to do the distributor and relocated the battery out back. With the heads, we had to change the headers, and because of angle plug heads, old headers didn't work. So we'll get him ready to go do some cruising and have some fun. And I got to do ball joints on that son of a bitch. Anyway, oh, so that's just a big piece of advice. So if you're again, you better have some heat, especially for the lower. You can smack the shit out of it with a pickle fork. It's still not going to separate. You can tap around the aluminum. It didn't work. I had to take some heat and then take old Brutus right there, the old sledgehammer, and just smack it, the end of the stud. It came right out. A little bit of heat, not a lot. You ain't got to melt the world down. But when you're going to set ride height, if you make some of these crates, set your vehicle back down on that. That should put you at ride height. You can double check if you got to jack up the back, you got to jack up the back, but I didn't have to. I got all the weight on there. It's at ride height. I torqued everything down. You got 155 foot-pounds on the bottom, and I believe it's 130 on the top. I'm just going off the top of my head. So again, it's 130 on the frame bolts. It's 155 on the lower, 130 on the top. The ball joints are 40 pounds on the top with 200 degrees. And then on the bottom bolt is 38 foot-pounds with, I think 90 degrees, yes. And then you have the ball joint, or I'm sorry, tie rod ends. Tie rod ends, they're right at 45 foot-pounds. So, and use anti-seize. Coat your inside of your knuckle with anti-seize, and just put some anti-seize up in there and stuff. And when you do, everything, possibly if you ever had to take it apart again, will come apart a lot easier. But it, once you torque it down, it's not going to pop out or anything like that. So anti-seize doesn't do that. It just makes it easier for disassemble. But anyway. Yeah, and after you get it done, you're going to have to get it aligned. I did paint my marks on my arms to try to get them back in the same spot for my camber bolts, but that don't always work. Used a little paint marker and stuff, so try to do that. So that's it.